I'm Ranu,
I'm Duran.
and today we're going to discuss how to install the super vulnerable Java application for people that don't know how to install it. And if you haven't already, you guys should go and install it, download it, play with it. There's a lot of good content there that you're literally not going to find anywhere, and demonstrations. So let's get to it.
So this is a fresh install, and all I've done is I have installed Git, I installed Tomcat, I installed Java, and I installed Maven. So the super vulnerable Java application is now on the system. Right here, we can do ls, lh. From here, we could go through and use Maven, and really quickly, as we see in our instructions, just do a quick clean install. Alternatively, we can actually just download the release. One really important thing, if you're running Tomcat 10 or above, which we are in this particular case, we have to add this specific line to our Tomcat context XML file. If you do not, it will not run. I'm going to go through, we'll show you really quickly the error you're going to see if that is not the case, just so that you know. And in the meantime, we're going to download this particular one from our releases section. As I said, it's a fresh install, so it did not allow GitHub. I had to
Yeah.
specifically allow it. We can see the download is finished. All we have to do is move the war into Tomcat's web apps folder. I've already shut down Tomcat, so the service itself is stopped, and we can verify that, of course, using system control, status, and Tomcat. So it says it's currently stopped. We are going to sudo move this into where we have Tomcat. In this particular case, we have Tomcat in our opt folder, and here. All right, next thing we have to do is ch mod. Actually, we're going to ch own it. All right, so as I said, this isn't going to work right now, right off the bat, if we start Tomcat up, because we haven't mapped Jakarta yet. But we're going to do it anyway, just so you can see what it looks like when you forget that little tiny but absolutely vital step and the system doesn't load. So we'll do system control and start Tomcat. All right, so now if I were to go to here, I'm going to see this exception here. It's not found. It doesn't make any sense. My mind is currently boggled. So the first thing I'm going to do is, of course, go to, wow, I completely misspelled that. Here, Tomcat. And let's take a peek at our logs. We'll look at catalina.out. Go to the bottom of the file. So in the logs, we don't see anything particularly important here. So let's check out from here. We see failed to deploy for reasons that it's not really telling us. It says it's tied to previous errors and we're not getting anything. So let's check localhost. We will try. And when we look at this really quickly, what we see is this exception due to the JavaX servlet filter. This exception, the class not being found, tells us we forgot that simple step. And again, I will point to it in our handy little repository. right here inside of our installation guidance, which is relatively scant because as you see, there's very little to it. It says we need to add this when it's Tomcat 10 or above. We can tell from this exception we're running 10.1. So we're going to go into our Tomcat config and we will quickly just adjust that. We are inside of here. Now all we have to do is add in that single line, nothing more, nothing less. When virtual machine decides to come back from lunch. Here. We save the file. Now we're going to, of course, have to restart the service. All right. So Tomcat has restarted.
Woo-hoo!
And there we go. It works. So we can now actually go through and run our queries on the super vulnerable Java application and do whatever it is we want. Just really quickly to show you us authenticating. All right, so we're going to copy one of these requests from the sample documentation that we have, and we will send it to the super vulnerable Java application. Make sure you put your new lines. And this means we're authenticated. We can grab this token now if we so choose. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to send this one to the repeater. That way I have another one since, you know, we just authenticated. And if you are ever working with this and you're trying to use the JSON, for example, we were trying to authenticate with this methodology, and instead of getting what you expect, because this line is missing, you're getting something else, it's going to give you a session, but this session's empty. It won't work. Then just remember when you are working with really any web framework, you have to have that context. You have to have it in the content type, because if you don't have the content type, it won't necessarily go to the parser that you want. In this particular case, it's not going to go to the JSON parser unless it knows it's JSON. And the server is not going to hunt and try to figure out which parser to send it to. So by default, it just sends it to the struts parser.
And if you also, just another side note, if you did like I did and you go through and you download Tomcat, you don't go through, you download using Maven to install it and you download it the regular way, blah blah blah. Just make sure that you do a few things, like you might have to change the size requirements in order to upload, or for it to work. So I had to go through and do that myself, and then that alleviated an issue. I don't know why it happened to me, but obviously I had to go through and change the size requirements. And then obviously, as you said, Duran, make sure that you put that little thing in the beginning for loading the, what is it, Jakarta?
Right.
Convert to Tomcat. Make sure you do that, and that way everything should go smoothly. But either way, that's it for this tutorial. I'm Ranu.
I'm Duran.
And if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this one. To the next time.
Have fun. Oh, my up key is stuck. My up key is very stuck. All right, whatever. It's
Get a new computer.
I swear.
You got all that money. Go get your new computer.
Apparently, I just need to replace this keyboard. Nah, I need to pop out the keys. All right.